Hey everyone, welcome to another spooky cookie design for Halloween. So we're going to start with our black outline consistency, and this is my thicker icing. And not everybody uses two consistencies, but for me it really helps to keep my flood in. It helps me flood my cookies faster because what I'll do is outline all my cookies and then I'll come back and flood them all. And I have that outline nice and stiff so that it will hold all the flood in. And I like to have my flood a little bit looser. That way it settles by itself. So I just basically have to flood my cookie and leave it and it'll all settle by itself instead of me having to go in with a scribe and really work at it to settle. So that's kind of the difference between a looser flood and a thicker flood. It all depends on how long it takes it to settle nice and flat. And that's what we're looking for. So it really depends on what you prefer. Everybody does it a little bit differently, so you can try it a few different ways and see what works best for you. A lot of people have a hard time getting black icing, so I've linked a video at the top right corner here. You can see and click on that later and you will find my tutorial on how to get dark black icing. Now while this icing is still wet, we're going to go in with our orange here, and I'm just going to pipe. This is my outline consistency. Reason being is I don't want the colors to bleed. So I don't want the black and orange to kind of mix. So I'm using a thicker icing here. The looser the icing, kind of the more chance you have of it of bleeding. And especially because that black is so concentrated with color, I really want these eyes to be nice and bright and stand out. So you see, I just have to go in with my scribe a little bit just to smooth it out, but it takes a couple of seconds. They're nice and flat. And while it's still wet, I'm going to go in again with my outline consistency black. So this is my thick black icing, and just do a little dot in each eye. Some are going to face up, some are going to face down. You can do really whichever way you want, and really any color eyes you want here. I used electric orange for the orange ones, and for my yellow ones I did a mix of a lemon yellow and egg yellow, and they really look like they're glowing, you know, against that black background. And so this is going to go dry for a little while so it crusts over. You can see how the eyes are nice and flat with the background of the cookie. And then I'm going to go in with my white outline consistency. And I've cut a smaller hole and I'm just taking my time to make nice straight lines. So I'm touching down, lifting up my bag very, very slightly and touching back down. Whenever I'm doing those curves, I'm pushing more pressure on my bag. That way, I'm kind of forcing the icing to go out of my bag. So when you're pushing more pressure and you're doing a curve, you're almost pushing the icing ahead of your bag so you can kind of see where it's going. So I'm almost pushing it to go curve away from me, and that's helping me get a nice curve. When you have really small designs, sometimes really intricate ones, you have to kind of play with the pressure of your bag to make the icing do what you want. Sometimes it's hard to drag your icing where you want it to go, and so pushing a little harder, you know, makes it go where you want to go. And here I'm just going to add a little spider hanging down. So I'm going to use my white outline consistency, and I'm using my purple outline consistency as well. Anytime I have a small area like this, I like to use my outline consistency. That's kind of my detail icing. I'm just going to add little legs here. And I know a spider has 4 legs, but this is a spooky one. 2 of its legs went missing. And this is another reason why I like to have 2 consistencies, is because then I always have my detail icing ready to go. So again, we're going to do another spider web here in the corner. So here I'm going left to right, and I'm staying nice and close. So it's kind of a natural movement to do that swing. But if I'm going the opposite direction, then that's when I want to kind of push my icing. So it's really like if I can see where my icing is going, then I can pull it. But if I can't really see, if I'm going away from myself and I can't really see the tip of my bag well, then I can push that icing so I can see it come out of the bag. And with some practice, it'll come like second nature. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Stay tuned for more. As always, happy baking. Thanks for watching.